Hey everyone! It's your old pal, Learn by Laughter. And let's face it, we're all hurtling towards retirement at an alarming speed. Don't worry, it's not a bad thing, especially when you have places like these to dream about. Today, we're diving into the top 5 best countries in the world to retire. Whether you're looking for a place with a low cost of living, because let's be real, retirement funds don't magically multiply themselves. High happiness levels, low crime rates so you can feel safe taking an afternoon nap in the park, or excellent healthcare because, we're not getting any younger. We've got you covered. Plus, we'll throw in a cool activity that locals love to do in each country because retirement shouldn't be all about sensible shoes and early bird specials. Let's get started. First up, we're hopping on a plane and jetting off to Portugal, a country that seems tailor-made for retirees. It's got it all: stunning beaches that stretch further than a CVS receipt, charming cobblestone streets that whisper stories of centuries past, and a pace of life that's so relaxed, even sloths would be like, "Whoa, guys, slow down." But here's the real kicker. Portugal is incredibly affordable, especially compared to other Western European countries. Your retirement savings will stretch further than a teenager's excuses for not cleaning their room. And speaking of stretching, let's talk about that delicious Portuguese food. Fresh seafood, juicy olives, and those little custard tarts called pastel de nata that are like sunshine baked into pastry form. But it's not just about affordability, folks. Portugal consistently ranks high on those world happiness surveys, and it's not hard to see why. The people are warm and welcoming, the sun shines for what feels like 300 days a year, and the healthcare system is top-notch. Plus, you're surrounded by history and culture. Ancient castles, vibrant cities, and did I mention those beaches? Now, what's that cool activity the locals love? Well, it's something called fado, which is a type of melancholic folk music. Think of it as the Portuguese version of the blues, but with more longing stares at the ocean. It's beautiful, soulful, and the perfect soundtrack for sipping port wine under a starlit sky. So, there you have it. Portugal, a retirement haven where you can live comfortably, soak up the sun, and maybe even learn to sing a mournful ballad or two. Not bad, right? Next up, we're sauntering over to Spain, a country that knows how to embrace life's simple pleasures. And when I say simple pleasures, I'm talking about delicious food, passionate flamenco dancing, and of course, the sacred siesta. Spain is like that friend who knows how to throw a party that lasts all night and then wakes up the next day ready for round 2. But don't let the laid-back vibe fool you. Spain is also a country with a rich history, stunning architecture, and a healthcare system that's the envy of many. Let's talk affordability. Spain offers a lower cost of living compared to many other Western European nations, especially when it comes to housing and everyday expenses. That means more tapas for your buck. And speaking of tapas, let's be real. The food alone is a good enough reason to retire to Spain. From patatas bravas to paella, to those little slices of heaven known as tortilla española, your taste buds will be doing the flamenco all day long. But it's not just about the food, although it's a very, very important part. Spain has a vibrant culture, friendly locals who are always up for a chat, and a relaxed pace of life that encourages you to slow down and savor the moment. And did I mention the healthcare system is excellent? They take care of their own in Spain, which is good news for those of us who are starting to creak a little in the joints. Now, what's that unique Spanish activity you can't miss? Well, it's got to be flamenco dancing, of course. This passionate and fiery dance form is like watching pure emotion come to life. And the best part? You don't have to be a professional to enjoy it. Just find a local bar, order yourself a glass of sangria, and let the rhythm take over. So there you have it. Spain, a country where you can indulge in delicious food, embrace the siesta lifestyle, and maybe even learn to stomp your feet with the best of them. Ole! Chapter 3. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading down under to New Zealand, a country so breathtakingly beautiful, it's practically unfair to the rest of the world. Imagine majestic mountains that pierce the sky, sparkling turquoise lakes that look like they belong on a postcard, and rolling green hills dotted with, you guessed it, sheep. Lots and lots of sheep. New Zealand is like that friend who's always up for an adventure, whether it's bungee jumping off a bridge or hiking through a rainforest. But it's also a place where you can find peace and tranquility, surrounded by some of the most stunning natural scenery on Earth. Now, I know what you're thinking. New Zealand sounds amazing, but it must cost a fortune to live there. And while it's true that New Zealand isn't exactly the cheapest place to live, it's more affordable than you might think, especially when you compare it to places like Australia or the United States. Plus, the quality of life you get in return is pretty hard to beat. Speaking of quality of life, New Zealand consistently ranks high on those global happiness surveys, and it's not hard to see why. The people are friendly and down to earth, the pace of life is relaxed, and the air is so clean, you'll practically be able to taste it. Plus, they have a fantastic healthcare system that takes care of its citizens. Now, for that unique Kiwi activity, well, it's gotta be something adventurous, right? How about bungee jumping? That's right, New Zealand is the birthplace of this adrenaline-pumping activity, and there are plenty of places where you can hurl yourself off a perfectly good bridge or cliff. But hey, if leaping headfirst towards the ground isn't your thing, there's always hiking, kayaking, or just soaking up the incredible views. So there you have it, New Zealand, a land of adventure, natural beauty, and sheep. Lots and lots of sheep. Chapter 4. Get ready to embrace the Pura Vida lifestyle, folks, because we're heading to Costa Rica, a country where the rainforest meets the ocean in a symphony of natural beauty. Imagine waking up to the sound of howler monkeys, sipping your morning coffee while watching toucans flit through the trees, and spending your days exploring pristine beaches and lush rainforests. Costa Rica is like that friend who's always got a smile on their face, a spring in their step, and a knack for finding the best waves. It's a country that embraces a slower pace of life, where happiness is a priority, and where the natural world is always calling. Now, let's talk affordability. Costa Rica offers a lower cost of living compared to many North American and European countries, especially when it comes to housing and everyday expenses. That means more money for those rainforest excursions and surfing lessons. And speaking of food, Costa Rica has a delicious and diverse cuisine that's sure to tantalize your taste buds. Fresh fruits, vegetables, and seafood abound, and you'll definitely want to try the national dish, gallo pinto, a flavorful mix of rice and beans. But it's not just about the affordable living and delicious food. Costa Rica is consistently ranked as one of the happiest countries in the world, and it's not hard to see why. The people are incredibly friendly and welcoming. The pace of life is relaxed and stress-free, and the natural beauty is simply breathtaking. Plus, they have a good healthcare system that takes care of their own. Now, what's that unique Costa Rican activity you can't miss? Well, it's gotta be something that involves the incredible natural environment, right? How about ziplining through the rainforest canopy? That's right, you can soar through the treetops like a modern-day Tarzan, surrounded by monkeys, sloths, and exotic birds. It's an experience you won't soon forget. So there you have it, Costa Rica, a land of Pura Vida, where you can retire in paradise, embrace a slower pace of life, and maybe even learn to surf. Just watch out for those howler monkeys! Chapter 5. Get ready for a captivating blend of ancient traditions and futuristic wonders, folks, because we're traveling to Japan, a country that's both deeply rooted in its past and constantly pushing the boundaries of innovation. Imagine strolling through serene bamboo forests and ancient temples one minute, then hopping on a bullet train and zipping across the country at lightning speed the next. Japan is like that friend who's always impeccably dressed, incredibly polite, and has a secret stash of the coolest gadgets you've never even heard of. It's a country of contrasts, where ancient customs blend seamlessly with cutting-edge technology, and where respect and harmony are highly valued. Now, I know what you're thinking. Japan, isn't that super expensive? And while it's true that Japan has a reputation for being pricey, especially in major cities like Tokyo and Kyoto, it's more affordable than you might think, especially when you compare it to places like London or New York City. Plus, the quality of life you get in return is exceptional. Speaking of quality of life, Japan boasts one of the highest life expectancies in the world, and it's not hard to see why. They have a fantastic healthcare system, a healthy diet that emphasizes fresh, seasonal ingredients, and a culture that values respect for elders. Plus, the crime rate is incredibly low, so you can feel safe and secure exploring everything this fascinating country has to offer. Now, for that unique Japanese activity you can't miss. Well, it's got to be something that embodies the country's rich culture and traditions, right? How about attending a traditional tea ceremony? This ancient ritual is all about mindfulness, respect, and the art of preparing and serving matcha, a powdered green tea. It's a truly immersive cultural experience that will leave you feeling calm, centered, and maybe even a little bit zen. So there you have it. Japan, a land of ancient traditions, modern marvels, and endless fascination. Just be prepared to say arigato a lot. And there you have it, folks, our whirlwind tour of the top 5 best countries to retire. Whether you're dreaming of sunny beaches, snow-capped mountains, or bustling city life, there's a perfect retirement destination out there waiting for you. Remember, retirement isn't about slowing down, it's about embracing new adventures, exploring different cultures, and making the most of every moment. So, start planning your retirement adventure today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more awesome content. Let us know in the comments which country you'd love to retire in. See you next time.